Hope, and this is the Hope Akedika show. First and foremost, Happy New Year, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. A little bit about myself. I'm Hope. I am a young mother, a wife, and a training journalist, and this platform is all about authenticity. I want to create a platform where we, myself, including you, can discuss things that concern us all. So please don't be shy, don't shy away from the comment section. That's why it's an open platform. Get involved in the discussion as it's happening and give me your 2 cents on the situation. First of all, I just want to say 2022 was a different year for all of us. We have just gotten back to normality. We've gotten out of lockdown, but it felt like we were taking baby steps. And maybe at the same time, it felt like we were stuck at home, and then the doors were wide open, and then boom, everybody just felt like loose cannons at some point. But it was an amazing year overall. It was a lot of people got to have the graduations they never got to have. A lot of people got to celebrate the weddings that had to be put off, and just so many more things. The family members got to see each other again, traveling abroad, and of course the amazing shows and concerts that we all got to experience as well. But the year also had its ups and downs. It had a lot of shocking and challenging stuff that we all had to experience as a collective. The wars, obviously, the concerts and all those things that went on there. It was like, Burna Boy not showing up to a concert, but today it's coming out, he didn't just flink. It was actually supposed to be announced, but we'll get into that later. But at the beginning of every unit, we're always so excited about all these amazing things we're going to do. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to be on a diet. We're just going to, we're so excited about making our lives better. And 5 days in, people are like, don't ask me how much money I've made. It's only day 4, we put so much pressure on ourselves to achieve all these things. And 5 days in, we're already crying about how much pressure we're putting on ourselves. So let's just take it one day at a time and enjoy the new year. But at the same time, let's be more conscious of the people we keep around us, the kind of things that we get involved in on a day-to-day basis, on and off social media, because social media has become such a big part of our lives now that we can't pretend that it's not a part of our lives. And people were sharing a bit too much last year. I remember on TikTok things were trending like, I let this guy do this to me. It's too much, sis. Before you put it on social media, just think twice about it. Like, the internet is not a kind place, and if you're going to put your business out there, be prepared for every kind of opinion to come your way. So for your own mental health and for your own sake, just think twice before you post anything. And this goes for myself, because I am putting myself out there right now. I am allowing you guys to get involved in the discussion, and not everybody is going to have something nice to say. Not everybody is going to come with the best intentions, but it's different. When you're mentally prepared for something, I know what I've set myself out to do on this platform, the Hope Akedika show, which it will not just always be me. I will be having guests here as well. But I just wanted to do a formal introduction and opening so that we can connect on a personal level as well, so that you guys don't shy away from the discussion. You feel free to be able to communicate with me. Also, so let's get straight into it. So I'm living in the UK, right? And we've had about 3 prime ministers. In a year, we've had 3 prime ministers. One didn't even last 45 days. Will go unmentioned. But our current prime minister, Rishi Sunak, is promising us 5 things. 5 promises, he said. I don't know if you guys have heard this so far, but he's promising that we're going to get out of debt as a country, or he's going to reduce the debt in the country. He's promising that the small boats are not going to be... That's the only promise. He's actually gone into detail about what's going to happen. On all the other promises, he's sort of stated them, but he's not really giving us the how. And he's told us that he wants us to hold him accountable. So guys, this year, together, we're going to be holding our Prime Minister accountable for those 5 promises and make sure that he can keep these 5 promises for all of us. The other one's economic growth, job opportunities. By the way, I hope these opportunities don't mean that the new coal factory that wants to be built again, because we left that behind 40 odd years ago. We don't want to be going to work in the coals again. Okay, so I don't know about new job opportunities, because Amazon jobs are going, they're going. So I'm not quite sure what these new job opportunities mean, because we'll see. We're waiting, we're being patient, we're going to find out. We're going to find out together, and we're going to be able to scrutinize, our government, because at the end of the day, we're the ones experiencing these things, that decisions that are being made in Parliament, but we are the ones experiencing them firsthand. And also, I can't see the comments. Okay, but yeah, sorry about that, guys. Another thing that I want to talk on as well, something that's been heavy on my heart. I don't know if this is coming from the perspective of being a mum, but I just feel like our children need to be more protected on the internet, in schools, and the kind of friends that they have around them. I'm talking children from all ages and groups. I'm talking from babies, from infants, all the way into teenagehood, all the way into young adulthood. Like, our children need to be protected, because we've seen how cruel the world can be. There's some very powerful people who can do some very bad things, okay? And before you know it, it's buried under the rug. People are getting away with it. But also on a smaller scale, just children going out there and not making it home, just horrible things. And on the internet as well, children are just being exploited. Today I saw a video of a guy asking little kids to go ask someone if they clean themselves properly. I mean, I'm sorry, but... And the other one that went viral about the child being over-sexualizing kids as well. I don't know what is up with that, but it's not right. We need to protect our children. If you're a parent, an older sibling, you're in a position where you can protect a young child, please do it. Because it's just, it's getting out of hand. If we don't talk about it, if we don't do something about it, it's just going to keep happening. And yeah, people can be on the bandwagon for 3, 4, 5 days, protesting on social media, cancel Balenciaga, da. But after a few days, those discussions, they die out. And we never know what actually happened. Did we get the results that we wanted? Did these people, were they held accountable for their actions? Or did we just forget about it? Out of sight, out of mind, For certain things, it should never be out of sight, out of mind. It should be. We should chase that thing, that situation, until we get the results and resolution that we deserve as a community. At this point, I'm talking a global scale, because we are all being affected by the same thing now. We're so interconnected. There's nothing that's happening in an African country, in an Asian country, or in the United States, or anywhere in the world that I get to experience firsthand through the internet. And I know it's probably not the same thing, but we should care. Just because that child lives in the United States, like what happened with that child who was being beaten up by a cop in the street. I'm talking, he was swinging for the child as if he's swinging for a big man, Like, it did not make sense. Like, how is that even... What's going to happen to that cop now? Am I going to find out? Am I going to know? Or you just show me one crazy video about some crazy thing that's happening to a little child, and then afterwards, that's it. I don't get to hear what happened in that situation. But it's not fair. It's not right, because what happens most of the time, these situations just stir up people, create this anger and hatred, and continue to fuel up that hatred and that division between people. And you have people saying silly things like, oh, nobody knows what the child did, or why they're being, it does not excuse the actions of that cop. Like, it does not matter what that child did. No child deserves to be attacked like that by a big man. No way. It just doesn't make sense. There's no part in the world that you can tell me that's justifiable. I mean, every country has their laws and regulations, 100%. You cannot deny that. But some things on a universal global scale, we can look at them and think, you know what, yeah, that's happening, but it shouldn't be happening. And it's through these discussions that I want us to be able to get down to these situations, you know, and talk about them and make the impact and change that we want to see. I know it sounds really corny right now, but that's essentially what we're here to do, you know. If we don't talk on things that affect us, then these people in positions of power are just going to keep abusing their power and keep maltreating those who are, you know, who are vulnerable in that state, you know. So yeah, guys, let's get talking. We are here every Thursday evening. You know, I want to hear from you guys at 7 p.m. So join me every single Thursday. Every single Thursday in 2023, we'll be sat right here talking about what a crazy week we've had all together. So I want to hear from you guys. And okay. Oh yeah, another thing that I really want to talk about is the desensitization of just things that are like happening. Like people are so exposed, so overexposed to things that they've become normal now. They've become normal to just experience. Like, I'm sorry, what's happening with the Lowski guy? The guy's been arrested in possession of a gun, right? And instead of focusing on the issue, people are more concerned about the size of the weapon than the actual situation. I'm like, I'm sorry, in this UK that we live in, why is anybody, because it is illegal, right? At the end of the day, the general law in general, apart from those people who can have firearms, it's illegal to hold a fire weapon, right? So why is the size of the gun even the issue? Please, someone tell me, why is the size of the gun the issue? The issue in the first place should be that shouldn't even be on UK grounds. It shouldn't even be he shouldn't even be possession of that. But here we are today. Like I said, like, we're asking the wrong questions, and I need everybody to start asking the right questions so we can actually tackle these problems as they come head on, instead of us focusing on the joke. Like, when are we going to stop being the class clown as a community? When is it just going to stop being, oh, just banter? It's not everyday banter. Like, these are things that we should actually be concerned about. It's not just for banter. And this just leads me into the state and mental health of young people as well, you know. Like, the mental health, we've seen a lot of people have come out, but then at the same time, I feel like it was just because therapy was trending. Therapy should not be a trend. Like, I'm sorry, but it should be something that we actually take seriously. Like, yeah, okay, the celebrities, they spoke about how they attend therapy sessions and stuff. Then everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon. But are we actually doing the therapy like we're saying we're doing? Are we actually taking care of our mental health the way we're screaming on social media? If anything, sometimes social media is part of the mental health that we're experiencing. You know, we really need to check ourselves in that area. Like, are we actually talking to the right people who can help us in situations? And a lot of people been through a lot of things. Like, are you seeking the help that is specific to you and to your needs? Because if we can't cater to ourselves and look after ourselves and the things that we need to look after, because the things that I need to deal with inside is not necessarily the same things that somebody else has to deal with, you know. So instead of just being on the hype about therapy and what, you know, people needing to go mental health, this, that, let it not just be a song you sing. Let it actually be something that you do for yourself. In this 2023, make it your personal goal to look after your mental health. If that requires physical exercise, or it requires, you know, that more professional approach to getting the help that we deserve. So, and also just regulating the kind of things that you intake, because we're so exposed, so overexposed to so many things, and your algorithms, they'll keep bringing, if you're stuck in a video, they're just going to keep showing you that same stuff, and before you know it, that's all you see, that's all you're consuming. But is what you're consuming building you in any way, shape or form? Is it helping you? How is it affecting your mental health? Like all these beef on TikTok, all this TikTok beef right now, like how is that helping us? How is that building us? Like, that's the questions you should ask yourself as a young person, even as an adult. We're all in the same situation now, because our parents, the older generation, and the generation after that, and the younger generation, we're all on social media. So it's no longer an age thing now. It's no longer, oh, the kids are on TikTok. Well, everybody has their thing. We associate Facebook with the slightly older generation. We associate Instagram with the young people who want to, appear a certain way and show a certain persona to the world. And we associate TikTok with just, you can just be funny on there. And Twitter's Twitter, can't even say much about that. But yeah, honestly, whatever platforms you're on, just be mindful, because behind every platform there's the pros and the cons. And if you're just somebody who just takes things in without even realizing how they're affecting you, then you definitely need to start thinking about that. And another thing that I don't appreciate about all these social media platforms, especially the people in a position of influence, is the conversations that they keep having. Like, big people with massive platforms are talking about things like, oh, the type of girl, the image, the UK girl aesthetics, what men are looking for in women. I'm like, everything is just either relationship oriented, and even then it's toxic relationships. It's not even genuine relationships. Where we need to start having discussions that are building us, because I'm sorry, but it's just actually very disturbing when you think about the people on these platforms. These are old men, and I'm talking even the older women that are on these platforms talking about, women, the things that men and women don't do in the UK. It's just, if you know what I'm talking about, if you don't, you don't. It's disturbing, because some of these people, I'm like, I'm sorry, but at your big age, some of these things should not even be taking place. I don't know. Let me know what you think, because is that what you guys want to sit there and listen to the whole time about, a man eating a woman out? I don't get it. Like, how is that a trending conversation? And these are big people having these conversations. It's not little people having these conversations, but their audience are young people, and it's just like, it's very much questionable, So let me know what you think. I don't know. It's maybe it's just me overthinking it, but personally, I don't know. I feel like a 40-year-old, 35-year-old man having conversations with 15, 16-year-olds about sexual stuff and sexual encounters is questionable. Okay? Very questionable. But yeah. Okay, guys. I'm just starting to see the comment section now. Thank you, everybody that's tuning in, and please get involved in the discussion. Like I said, let's talk. I just want you guys to this is just going to be a little tester about how, the show will go on, especially when we have guests on the platform, and the kind of stuff that we'll be talking about. I really want to get educators in. I want to get professionals in. I want to, have discussions with even, anybody in who specializes in anything, so we can get the insight knowledge that we need on things that affect us on a daily basis. But yeah. Okay. Oh, did anybody see that what's the girl group called? Is it Flow? They've just gotten a recognition from, a platform. But personally, this is like, for me, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm being a bit cynical, but if you observe the group, you can already see where this is going. A girl group, three girls, different shades of brown, and I don't know. I just hope that we don't see the same pattern that we saw, the way we did Disney Destiny's Child, the way we did Little Mix. I really just hope that all these girls can get all the love and recognition that they deserve for their talent, and that one girl is not going to be favored over the other because of the shade of her skin. I really hope that everybody can just appreciate the whole group, and I feel like it's better we talk about it now than act oblivious. If it's happening, it's better that we acknowledge these things now, and instead of 10 years down the line they'll be like, oh, do you know what, when you think about it, it's true, the other girl, she was always in the background. I don't know, but anyway, it's a great time for them. They're celebrating right now. They're celebrating a massive win, and I wish them all the best. But I really hope that the girls can get the recognition, all three of them, and get the platform that they need. And I hope that their management really means well for every single one of them, and not just one particular girl. Because again, girl group, boy groups, we've seen it time and time again. Even from us, because at the end of the day, they're always thinking about how what the audience want, and what we're focusing on the most. That's what they're going to push, right? But if we show them the narrative now is different, if we show them that we love all the girls in all the shades as they are in their talents, let them shine, especially with different songs. Every girl will have their strengths and their weaknesses in what they do best, So yeah, just something to think about. Okay, this comment here, let me just read it. Our generation is so much focused on relationships, forgetting that there is more to life, and there are major issues that affect our lives. Exactly. And this is what I'm talking about. There's so much more to life than just relationships. And if I'm not mistaken, so many young people are screaming, I don't want to be in a relationship, marriage is a trap, blah blah blah. Okay, cool, that's your thoughts on the situation. Why do you obsess over it so much? Why are you constantly talking about things that you claim not to believe in? You don't believe in love, you don't believe in marriage, you don't believe in partnership, but yet that's what you talk about every day. And you're not even talking about the right things about it. You're talking about all the wrong things. You're talking about how a man should be this and that, and a woman should be this and that. And we've created all these expectations for men and women, but it's just very toxic, and I don't think it should be the main subject out there, because like you said, there's so much more to our lives than the kind of relationships that we're getting into. Well, the relationships we get into are very important, but the things that we need to be discussing and talking about are equally and sometimes even more important. So yeah, let's stop being so naive as well. And another thing, as soon as something gets put on the internet, and like today, all I've been seeing is one prince attacked the other. You know what I'm talking about. I did not want to be mentioning these names, but it can't go without mentioning it, because we're focusing on the royal family again, right? But we're focusing on them for all the wrong reasons. Like, you forget Prince Harry and Prince, what's the guy name? William are brothers. They're brothers. They're gonna fight, okay? So I'm not saying it's appropriate what happened, but what I'm saying is we focus on all the wrong things. We focus on all the wrong things all the time, and everything has just become a big joke. Like, we can't take nothing seriously at all. And I feel like that's my biggest concern, because Gen Z, do you know what? I didn't even believe I was part of Gen Z, but I'm like the last age group to be part of Gen Z. But Gen Z in general, we just take everything as banter, as jokes, and we don't take nothing seriously. And we have so many things happening around us, politically, around the world, that are going to affect us. But because we're not even looking at that, we're not even paying attention to it, big decisions are being made every day that are going to affect our lives all around the world. I'm talking on a global platform. But because we're not focusing on that, we're too busy focusing on whether Prince Harry got beat up by his brother or not, and we think that's funny. I've not heard one tweet about what our Prime Minister has said today. So, you know, but again, guys, this is some of the conversations we're going to be indulging in. And I really hope that, I can have you guys here every week and get involved in the discussion. Don't shy away from the discussion. I need your points, whatever you're thinking. If you think what I'm saying is not true, correct me. Let's talk about it. Let me know what you have to say. And, thank you so much for everybody who's tuned in today. And I'm looking forward to being here with you guys. Thank you, Shipe. Thank you. You did say, that is very much. I'm glad you agree, because I thought I was by myself on that one. I really thought that, why are you getting annoyed? People talk about what they experience. No, you're just feeding people with junk and rubbish. It makes no sense. Stop feeding the minds of young people with absolute nonsense. Obsessing over people like Andrew Tate. I mean, that's a whole nother story. But it's just, we need to be focusing on the right things and not the wrong things. And I hope that in this new year we can do that and just drive the topic in the right direction and get the right discussions going, the discussions that we need to be having, the discussions that are going to shape not just our future, but the generations after us as well. Because, so many people have platforms, so many people have a voice, but they're not using it effectively. And that's no offense to anyone, but I'll say it again, so many people with a platform, but the stuff that they're saying is just, you'd think, is this all we care about? Is this where we've got to as a people? Is this where we've come to? Is this where we've arrived as a generation? This is all we care about. This is what we think about. This is what matters to us, this is what matters to us. But yeah, be sure to send emails and things that we can talk about in future programs. So via this platform you can send your your emails, and we can continue this discussion the following week, and I can do my research on it as well. If you have any topic that interests you, please be sure to comment, to send it to me via email, and I'll go conduct my research, and we'll be able to discuss it and talk about it effectively, and not just talk about it, but talk about it in a constructive manner as well. We don't want to just be speaking anything. We want the facts. We want the facts to back us up. We want to be saying the right things. We don't want to just be saying the wrong thing. I'm just going to read this message from Susanna, and it says, stay true to your soul always. You're about to drive a shift in our generation and the future generations to come. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that is really the goal. That is really the goal, is to be a voice, and not just to be a voice making noise and joining the crowd. If it means that I'm going to be that person who's always, she's always trying to be controversial, absolutely not. I'm just here to speak the truth. But thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for tuning in into the Akedika show. I hope to see you next week. Thank you. Bye.